So I just want to show, I'm going to build 20 lineups based on our 10-24 projections. We see Embiid and Maxey here are projected so high, right? We even have Mike Scott possibly. He's 40%. It depends on his minutes. But like Maxey and Embiid both have RG, salary adjusted plus minuses in the double digits. Maxey with a 51% smash and Embiid with a 42% smash. So I'm going to build 20 lineups. Just what's the top 20 lineups I can make based on our projections? So I'm going to make 20. Here's the top one. Okay, the top one. I don't care about negative correlation or anything like that. So 296.83. So that's with the 40, you're not even using all your salary to even get there. So 296.83. Then the next best one is 296.1. Then we have 295.93. But most of them, we take a look at the top 20 have 100% Embiid, 100% Maxey, 100% Mike Scott, 85% Danny Green, right? So now you're thinking in your head going, is Tyrese Maxey going to be too high owned? Should I fade Tyrese Maxey? Well, go in, and I'm now going to X him out, just him, and then run 20 lineups. So what was the number from before? 296?
Yep.
The best lineup you can make without him right now, I X'd him out, is 286.39. Doesn't have him, and obviously has Embiid. It has Mike Scott. It has Danny Green 100%. It has Malcolm Brogdon, Cameron Johnson, Chris Paul. By not playing Maxey, you're giving up the best lineup you could make is 10 points lower median. Now, let's say I also X out Embiid and I built 20 lineups. The best lineup is 281.81. Okay? That's 15 points below any Embiid Maxey lineups. Let's say I also X out Mike Scott and I run it. Now we're down to 276.1. So if you're thinking, right, if you're thinking in your head, you know what I'm going to do? Oh, let me X out Danny Green also. Let me do that also. Let's go to the...
Just get rid of the Sixers.
Right, just get rid of the Sixers, right? Any Sixers that come up. Okay, yeah, here we go. Here's the first best lineup, optimal median lineup, without any Sixers in it. Chris Paul, Melton, Trent Jr., Cameron Johnson, Miles Turner, Beal, Oladipo, and Brogdon. I'm not saying it's a great lineup of construction regardless. It's 273.47. The top one is what? 296?
296, yeah.
Right. You're just only giving up 23 points of median by fading the Sixers. So if you're going into this slate right now, based on current news or whatever, going, you know what I think is going to be sneaky? Why don't I just fade all the Sixers? Like you're minus EV. Like maybe it gets there. Yes, there's a percentage of time there will be no 76ers in the GPP winning lineup in large field GPPs, which is obviously more where you get leverage. You want to get as much leverage. But I think even in the largest of GPPs, just Xing out the Sixers, like you could see, just run it. Sometimes if the chalk wasn't this good, let me do this, James, just to show the concept. I'm going to change their projections. Okay? So I'm going to bump down Embiid to about 48 points. Okay? Is that going to give me, is it going to make him good but not great? That's not okay. I'll put him at 50. That makes him a good play. That makes him okay, right? Let's say I put Maxey's projection at 28. Right? Does that make him a good play? I'll put him up to even 30. Put him up to 30. Right? Still towards the top of the board, right? Let's take Mike Scott and make him 19. Make him a little bit less. And let's take Danny Green and make him maybe a little less, 24, right? To just put him as like they would still be the chalk plays on the slate, but they wouldn't project as well, right? Let's say we have Beal. I'm going to move him down a little to like 51, which still makes him a great play. Drummond down a little to 49. So if we take a look at like the comparison now between everyone is much smaller, right? So it's like, yes, Maxey, that good play. These are all good plays, but they don't project with plus minuses of 10 plus points. So now everyone's in the pool. I'm going to build 20 lineups. Okay, based on did I X everyone out properly? No, I got everyone back. Right? We still get Maxey, we still get Scott, we got Giannis in there. So the top projected lineup right now, after I bump them down, is 278.28. Still, you get Maxey in 100% of the first 20. Right? So let's say I take out Maxey and I run it. 275.07.
It's a bit better.
Right.
Better.
Which highlights the difference. In our first run with the original projections, the way that they should be, if you got rid of Maxey, you lost 10. You couldn't possibly make a lineup that's not 10 points hit in median. Here, it's 3. So, like in these cases on slates where, yeah, they are the best play, you could still make plenty of good lineups without them. You're sacrificing 3 points, right? Maybe you don't want to sacrifice, 20. But look, here, the top one is you're sacrificing 3. 274.13, you're sacrificing 4. 273.87, you're sacrificing 4.5. Here's another 4.5. Here's another 4.5. So now there's multiple lineups that are 4 to 6 points off the median. And if Maxey's going to be 80% owned, you'd be like, well, I could build lineups, right, James? Yeah, I could build lineups. I'm willing to get that leverage and sacrifice 3 points in median. But if we reset this, if I reset the settings back to their normal projections, like, dude, Maxey could be 80% owned and still not be owned enough, right? Like how you possibly getting a lineup that could be competitive projection wise and sacrifice 20 points in the process? It's very unlikely to happen. So I think, James, this is the type of thing that we know intuitively and we could look at, and like, I don't have to run this in order to know that a guy that has that 2 guys that have double-digit salary adjusted plus minuses are like going to have to be in like most of my lineups. But in the cases where these numbers, where the chalk is good but not like great, it can be useful to run lineups just like I did and see, oh wow, you're right. There is a way for me to make a good lineup without this player.